What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. As promised, guys, in today's video we're gonna focus on the Hydra. I'm gonna try to teach you the mechanics. We're gonna talk about survivability, how to maximize the damage. I'm gonna showcase you a couple of budgetish teams. We're gonna talk about champion synergy, and mainly let's get that sweet precious loot. Now I want to make you understand quickly one thing before we move over to talk about all that, guys. Before we had the Demon Lord, okay? If you didn't knew many things about the game, you are a shard whale, you just had the right champions, you are getting a takeover, or you are doing it yourself, getting an unkillable team, go on the Demon Lord, pick the difficulty, click on it, oro, come back out of it, do that every single day and collect the loot. Now all this changed with the Hydra clan boss, okay? It's really meant to be the most end-game content we ever got in this game, okay? The Doom Tower was okay-ish, nothing that challenging there because it kind of didn't bring new mechanics in and stuff, you know? Hydra brings in new mechanics, many things changing, evolving during the fight, so that's the interesting part with it. You really need to be on top of the situation, know the game, know the mechanics, know the champion synergy, and most importantly, know the Hydra heads. Know what they're buffing, what they're debuffing, what they're doing, what they're not doing. So all this will determine how good you're gonna do on the Hydra clan boss. And I do have to say, mid-game towards end-game, you can probably do the normal one, okay? That's kind of like the equivalent of the easy. And get the maximum chest from there with 3 keys, if you are doing it right. So don't expect that you're gonna take your old clan boss team, bring it to Hydra, go on it, click oro, bang, you've done it. You have to take your time, most probably manual. You can do oro as well with some teams, end game teams, but it's still not fully oro. You do have to target the specific heads when needed to make sure the champion doesn't get devoured, you know. Now, I'm quickly going to start with a team on normal, and while we're doing the fight, I'm going to kind of walk you through all the mechanics and stuff like this, you know? So, you don't need to get worried about it. I have clanmates that barely dealt any damage because, hey, they haven't paid attention, they just went in with a team. Some of them, they messed up their key by mistake. They weren't intending to doing it, but it happened. It can happen to anyone. Now, they are a handful of champions that are kind of needed to make sure you are having a decent fight. Shamael, Doom Priest, Tuhanarak, more cleansers, Duchess, we have Rector Dread, and the new fusion champion. That's it. No other champions can kind of fill in the role of Perfect Veil or to make sure you're not getting that fear constantly on your team. What we're gonna have on this team, guys, we're gonna have Shamael in the first run. In the next round, we're gonna run a Doom Priest. So if you don't have these champions at the moment, unfortunately, the fight is gonna be much harder for you. Not impossible, but much harder, and that won't bring you near one king the normal difficulty, okay? This champion right here is from the Doom Tower. AoE HP burn is huge. I've told you before in the previous videos before the Hydra launched, AoE HP burn is gonna be huge and is actually playing a very important role. We're gonna have a defense down and attack down with Stag Knight. We can actually land decreased speed with that as well. We have Phoenix to deal some damage, plus we have 80% chance AoE to land block buffs debuff. Then we have Grush the Mangler, daily login champion, Leech. We have a decreased attack again, and we have continuous heal, and then we have Ryan the Conjurer to strip buffs and land weaken on the enemy team. Like that, we have defense down and weaken. We can deal a bit of damage as well. You don't really need to have a champion that strips buffs from the enemy team. You can run a champion that buffs a lot, or pick a champion that is slower and play around with the amount of buffs, give that champion resistance, and the Mischief Head is gonna target that head to try to steal the buffs all the time, if that specific champion has the biggest amount of buffs. Now, a lot of people, they don't even bother to read the skills on the heads, guys. They don't really have any clue what exactly is happening around them, okay? I've got this message multiple times, like, Skratch, I'm trying to attack the head on the right, but the damage gets redirected. I don't know what's happening. Well, if you don't have Hex, this head has a 75% chance to redirect the damage to a random different head. And you cannot attack that one, especially when it devours your champion. It can be a problem. There are different ways to kind of counter it to a specific point. Affinities. You gotta make sure you are paying attention at affinities as well. You are attacking the right affinity with the right affinity. You don't want to mix and match all around to get a lot of weak hits unless it's necessary. You gotta know what these heads are doing. That's very, very important in terms of mechanics, guys. Survivability, and to make sure you're dealing enough damage, and to understand when you gotta use the right skills on the enemy. So, for example, right now, this one is gonna cleanse all the heads, AoE. If I'm gonna use an attack that debuffs AoE, he's gonna use that skill. If I'm gonna start dealing damage on a single head, he's gonna use this skill, and then he's gonna use the A2. So we wanna make sure he starts to use his A2 first, so then we can actually go in with the biggest amount of debuffs and start landing more and more damage. Because we use Shamael, and the way his passive works, whenever they land fear, he's gonna boost the thermometer, okay? So we wanna attack that champion, that head, as often as possible. Plus, we got a block buffs on him as well from the A1 there. You see? Booster meter. Nice. Now we're gonna go with the AoE debuff to make sure he's gonna use the clean skill. Okay, there we go. We have it on quite a few champions. Nice. I'm actually gonna land decrease speed. Try to land decrease speed at least on this head. Okay, we managed to. And we can still go A1, deal a bit of more damage. That head should cleanse. Let's try to go against him now, just to make sure he's not using the A2. He should be going with a A2, not the A3, sorry. Okay, you see, he cleansed everyone. Now what's gonna happen next time when this one gets a turn? He's gonna use the A3 on this head because he's the lowest HP, and he's gonna buff him. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind. I would suggest you to start killing the side heads, okay? I feel like that's pretty important as well. Kill the magic head as well, especially if you have a Tranda in here. I'm gonna show you that as well later. Trandash is just doing crazy, crazy things in here. We're not gonna use this skill yet because the mischief head is gonna attempt to steal buffs in a second. So we wanna have that skill covered. That's why auto doesn't work as good, guys. Some teams can do a bit of work on auto, semi-auto, but it's not going to be a full auto team. You do have to target the heads and stuff. So how you guys can see, we have this vampire teeth sign here on Shamael. That means that in 13 turns, one of these heads is going to digest my champion, devour my champion, okay? So I got to keep an eye on it. The way it works, if I understood this correctly, on the very first time when it happens, it targets the champion with the highest crit damage as well. Afterwards, it's gonna go on a random sort of situation. The cooldowns on how often the digestion sort of thing happens is gonna decrease every time it happens. It's the same sort of situation when the champion is in the Hydra's stomach. Sometimes at the beginning you start with 5 turns, then it's gonna decrease to a minimum of 2. So all this play an important role, guys. We really gotta pay attention to all that, you know. Okay, we can actually buff a bit of shield here. Bang. I have life still on some of my champions. I'll show you the builds afterwards. And I have I can run with leech as well on it, you know. So that's kind of like one of the problems here. We have the pain link now. I don't have a cleanser in here. I have only Shamael, you know. Let's land that. You see, they have all the buffs. They stole more buffs. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to strip all those buffs as well. I don't want to target that head very, very much because of Pain Link on my champion, okay? So that means that he'll be getting damage on my champion afterwards. You see? he got buffed and cleansed from the left head. You see, Pain Link. Bang, we got some damage there. Now I kind of want to focus on that head for the moment. Block buffs. Hopefully, yeah, we landed it on a few champion. Nice. And now we can strip them. Bang, there we go. So now even if this one would try to steal my buffs, he won't be able to apply them on himself, and then he won't be able to spread them on the rest of the heads, okay? So now it's time to start kicking in some damage in here. We wanna kill some of the heads because we'll be getting tons and tons of damage from there, you know. Block buffs on the other one as well. Let's land that continuous heal. Now it doesn't have block buffs anymore, so that can be a bit of a problem. We gotta make sure we're on point with that as well. Right affinity should go on the right affinity. AoE HP burn, how I specified, is pretty solid. I'm gonna try to attack with Shamael the blue head here. I still gotta get used with the names, guys. I'm not there just yet. Head of Torment, you see? Because we broke that buff, it actually got stunned. So now we can focus on dealing more damage and try to kill it as fast as possible, while we're getting that thermometer up and running as well. There we go. Very important, pay attention to skills, pay attention to affinities. And whenever the heads die, all the debuffs, they're gonna disappear. Whenever the heads are spawning back, they spawn without the debuffs and with their skills on 0 cooldown, so they can use them straight away. Another very important thing to be aware of. Okay, so that head is almost done. Okay, nice, nice. Good synergy in between these champions as well with Grudge the Mangler. Okay, bang, we got one head down. Now, Phoenix is not the best champion to deal with that head. I have HP burn on 2 more targets. I'm still gonna use it because I get it on 2. So whenever we decapitate a head, sometimes they have a 2-turn cooldown on spawning back. Sometimes they have a 1-turn cooldown. Another thing that you want to pay attention to. We want to land that defense down and attack down. You see, they just got digested my champion. And is from the Mischief head, the one that is pretty annoying to deal with. And the problem is that I should be dealing more damage on that head now. So I'm going to try to focus on this head. The damage is going to get redirected. It's going to be pretty annoying. Okay. Again, redirected. Not fun, not fun. But luckily we have 5 turns to deal with it, you know. You see? The problem with Hex is that it just doesn't seem to bring you that much, man. Like, you want to have Hex, but then at the same time, you don't really want to have Hex, you know? Because having Hex, it kind of messes you up. But luckily, we have some AoE attacks in here. I wish I would have had Akot's A2. I wish I would have paid more attention. And when my champion was getting devoured. You see, Stagnite is going to get eaten as well in 10 turns. Luckily, I have that AoE, a bit of damage, nothing too crazy though. Okay, it's still the shield is not huge. We can still go like that. I'm gonna wait for the other head to buff. Okay, the same head came back here. Gonna try to do this. Deal a bit of more AoE damage. Okay, luckily Phoenix went in. Sweet. HP burn is gonna be huge now because that's gonna release our champion as soon as it ticks. Okay, now we strip the buffs from the rest. There we go. Bang, we got our Shamael back. It's still my continuous heal. That can be a bit of a problem there. So that's kind of like the way it works, guys. If you're following all these steps, you see we have turn 29, 3.4 million damage. To max the chest on a normal mode, you need 6 million damage. Even if you don't have the gear I have on my champions, you don't have max Great Hall, you can still use 3 keys and max the chest as long as you have the devotion and patience and you want to understand the mechanics and of course time. So probably you're gonna have to be like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate 1.5 hours of this day of the week to the Hydra clan boss, or I'm gonna dedicate 1 hour just to the Hydra clan boss, because that's gonna help me out with damage, you know. So that's one thing that you might want to do. I want to kill that head before it gets to heal, actually, if I'll manage to, hopefully. Warmaster, Giant Slayer, at this very moment, they don't do much. I am hoping that later on is gonna do a bit more. So we just lost Stag Knight right there, which is fine. We should be able to pick him up. I have 1 HP burn here, 1 here. I'm definitely gonna use this because it's gonna give me a pretty good damage. My Ryan the Conjurer is gonna get devoured in 12 turns as well. So if you see at the stomach, it's 4 turns on this one right now. From 5, it decreased to 4. Let's try to attack the same champion. Block buffs on him. Ryan is actually pretty good here. Especially that you have the revive as well. Let's try to use that as well. Maybe we'll land more block buffs on different enemies. This is gonna come in with the cleanse. I definitely want to kill that head as well. Let's use AoE attack as well. The HP burn should clear that out, especially in 4 turns. Now, is a problem with this head, okay? Because attacks one enemy when he has that available, and then grants an extra turn, so that from 4 turns it can just go like this in 2 turns, and you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta do it now, like super quick. So we gotta pay attention to all that, you know. I'm saying it because it happened to me yesterday. That's why I'm saying it. Now, some of these champions don't have masteries for... Okay, we got the cleanse, unfortunately. They don't have masteries for clan boss yet. Okay, what do we have? 11 minutes of talking. Hopefully, this kind of gave you an understanding, guys, of what you have to do in here, you know. Okay. Let's free our champion and move over to kill some of the heads here. Okay, nice. Stag Knight is back on duty. We can use this now. And we can use this to get a bit of shield, just to keep my champions in a better spot. But turn 41, 5 million damage with a bunch of champions like this is actually pretty decent. It's not bad at all. And I'm pretty positive that I can go up to 10 plus. The only thing that can go very wrong is if Mischief kind of... it's my champion, and I'm not going to be able to knock it down, you know? Which is going to happen in 3 turns. Let's try to kill this. Okay. I definitely wanna heal a bit as well. AoE HP burn. Bang. Give it to me. Nice. Nice. We killed that head. Let's see. Who's going to devour my... Ryan. Okay, that head. Nice. That's perfect. You see, now it's 3 turns. So I have exactly 3 turns to take that down. If no, my champion, bye-bye. Sayonara baby. Is out of here, you know. But we are almost at 1 king this. Once we get there, I'm gonna stop, actually. That one stole my buffs. It's gonna be a bit of a problem because I don't have Ryan the Conjurer to help me out. And it's gonna spread the buffs afterwards to the rest of the team there. That had spawned back super quick because it only had it on a 1 turn. Okay, let's do that. Phoenix is gonna get devoured in 10. A lot of things to keep an eye on. That's kind of like the situation with this, you know. Bang, we got Ryan back. She's pretty low on HP, so that's a bit... Whoa, I'm worried about that. I don't really have much to heal her, you know. So you see, no lifesteal on her, no masteries for clan boss, nothing to heal her. And we went to a 1 key. Now we're literally at 1 key. And I'm gonna stop it and back out. I could probably go up to 10 million damage, guys. I just wanted to give you an understanding. So that's kind of like a 1 team. We're gonna try a different one, and then I'm gonna show you some champions. In the next team, I'm not gonna spend as much time talking. I'm just gonna kind of try to show you a bit the champions, how they work, and then we're gonna move over to showing you the champions and the builds. So we're gonna take out Ryan the Conjurer, actually. We're gonna take out Shamael, and we're gonna try to play it a bit differently. I think Ryan, she was still actually gonna do a good job there. Because it's gonna be hard to control the champion that... Actually, we go like this. We go Padma with Doom Priest. That's what I've done last time. So we go like this. I have decreased accuracy. Hopefully it's gonna land as much as possible. If not, I can still buffs with Padma in case of anything going too bad in there. I still kept the same damage dealers. I could take out Grudge the Mangler, bring in, for example, Ninja. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Ninja deals a decent amount of damage too. Okay, there we go. There are some very powerful champions in here as well, guys. Okay, we're gonna start the same way. I'm not gonna use that just yet. Focus on that. But now, you see, I don't have Shamael in here, so the fear actually procs. You do wanna make sure you have Doom Priest as the fastest in the team, so that cleanse always comes in play. Okay. Still the buffs, you see, that's a bit of a... can be a bit of a problem. We can use this with Ninja. Get a bit of damage. On a counter attack. Cleans, so now we can start from the beginning. I think he's gonna spread the buffs, actually. I might not have a chance to get rid of that. Yep, they got tons of buffs. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna start going in and stealing some buffs before we're getting in trouble here. Nice. And now we can focus the left head. I want to kill the left head and the right head. Since I don't have Shamael, there's no point to target the Magic Affinity head, the Head of Torment. I want to go for the other one, you know. So I'm actually going to go with this. Decrease a bit the cooldown on the A2. That's going to give me more damage. I should try and get the HP on this one down a bit more, just because the other one has ally protection. And that's kind of like how it's gonna work. So here, I'm gonna rely on decreased accuracy, because I don't have enough resistance. I have 100 plus resistance on some of the champions. Some of them, they have like 250, so they're in a decent spot. But with decreased accuracy, that Hydra head now has 125 accuracy. If you have 150 plus resistance, you're gonna be in a sweet spot. You don't have to worry about that head stealing your buffs, you know. I'm gonna play this out, guys, and I'm gonna kind of fast forward towards the end where we can see the total damage. So here we are, guys, turn 52, we reached 7 million damage already. I feel like this team is better in terms of damage. You see, we're kind of fighting different heads now. The whole synergy, chemistry of the team, the enemy team changed, okay? So that's why you kind of gotta be prepared for everything. These heads are spawning different pretty often, actually. It happened when I got both of them new on normal difficulty, so it's gonna happen. You gotta be prepared for it. If you can deal with it, you won't be having any sort of surprise. Now, right now, I have one of the champions getting digested there again, which can be a bit of a problem. Especially that is a Akot and I don't have the HP burn AoE. That means that I'll be dropping a lot of damage. You see how hard it is to get it, and it's only 2 turns. So what's gonna happen right now is probably I'm gonna lose that champion. I'm actually gonna go till there and see if it's gonna happen or not. And if that happens, we're gonna jump out afterwards. You see, we barely do any damage. 1 turn, that's literally lost. We're not gonna be able to recover our Akot from here. Even with all that, especially that it redirects, that's it. Yeah, we're not gonna get it back. But that's kind of how it looks, guys. That was the second team that could do the job for you. But how I specified, to deal with fear, one of those champions is a must. Unfortunately, I know a lot of you guys don't have them available. That's why I'm kind of like mentioning. I'm gonna show you the stats. Now, you don't have to copy my stats. That's normal difficulty, how I specified. If you don't do it in 1 key, that's fine. You're gonna do it in 3 keys or in 2 keys. The main thing is that you're gonna start collecting fragments for that champion. That's my ninja right here. These are like total stats on him. I'm using him to farm the Griffin. I don't have him built specifically for this thing. Masteries, I have tier 6 War Master. And support, so that was ninja. If we're going all the way down to the epics now, because we haven't used any other legendary except Ninja. Shamael, I have him with Giant Slayer. I have a defense on him. On artifacts, I have a reflex set and a speed set. Total stats, that's kind of the way it is. You don't have to make him deal so much damage. You can actually just tank him up if needed. If you need to tank your champions, just do it, guys. You gotta have enough damage to free your champions in the up to 50, 60 turns. If you're fine to survive and you're doing 3-4 million damage or more, of course, just do it. That's Shamael. You've seen the masteries. Then we have Padma. I have her on mixed sets. Total stats on her. I used to run her on the Eternal Dragon, if I'm not wrong. Resistance, not as much accuracy. Masteries, I don't even have War Master. I have Flawless Execution, not even Hand Smasher, for example. So that's Padma. Moving over to Doom Priest. She's in a solid build though. You don't need her that crazy. Relentless, speed, a bit of resistance as well. So she's pretty nice the way she is. Masteries, no masteries, by the way. Moving over to who else did we use? Akot. So I have masteries on him. I have actually War Master. I do have Arcane Celerity to boost Thermitter as well. And we have a Cycle of Magic just in case. We have the rest of the masteries just there. I have him built on a Stalwart and a Speed set. I don't have him built for a Hydra. This is the build that I had on him before. I just literally put random gear on him ages ago when I built all my epic champions, and I haven't changed it. But it's a decent build. Good accuracy, good speed, enough tankiness. He's gonna do it the way he is. The next one that we used, guys. Damn, I'm supposed to use a Royal Guard actually, just to show you guys. It doesn't do that much damage though. Crush the Mangler, Stalwart, accuracy set. These are his total stats. Accuracy, crit rate, crit damage, a bit of defense, HP. Stagnite, mixed sets as well. I used to run him on the Scarab King ages ago. I never changed the build on him since then. You see, he doesn't have much defense. Decent amount of HP, good crit rate, crit damage, resistance, accuracy, speed. And Phoenix, he's in a solid build, lifesteal. Decent resistance, accuracy, crit damage, crit rate, speed, attack, defense, HP, nothing too crazy on there. Reliquary Tender, she can definitely help you in there as the second support. If you need to bring 2-3 supports instead, do it. I would suggest you to support 4 DPSers, debuffers. It feels like it plays in the best way. Now, I showed you all that. I just want to show you a couple of other things. They are pretty crazy, actually. If you have a Tranda, you're going to be able to do some crazy things in here, you know. So, for example, if we're going... Let's go back to normal. Let me just take all this out. And where is my Venus? I've told you guys weeks ago, Venus, she is going to be so powerful. Crazy good, actually. Recently used first, and we're going to take a Tranda. We're going to take... It doesn't seem like they're recently used first, because they kind of got mixed up in here. Well, what happened? It's definitely not recently used first, because I just used Crush the Mangler. I gotta try a CCA Flame Tongue as well, guys. I didn't have a chance to do it just yet, but I am planning to do it as well. Okay, let's change that BS, because it's not showing it right. Where is my Salad? I kind of like my Salad. He's very powerful as well. Have we put a Duchess in there? We did. We need Shamael. And let's go in. Lady Kimi, she's powerful as well, instead of Salad if you want. We're gonna go in like this. Check this out. Trandashi is just doing crazy stuff. When my clanmate showed me this yesterday, I was like, no way she hits that hard. But I guess the skill doesn't count as a AoE, and I have a feeling the higher you're gonna go on difficulties is not gonna happen anymore. And let's start with the HP burn to make sure the head is gonna cleanse that actually. But I'm supposed to go with the A2 since I have Kaimar here, but whatever. Duchess Shamael together, not the best combo, by the way. Brogni can work pretty good. I just kind of like to use them together. At least for the purpose of this. You see, we got the cleansing. Let's do that now. Check this out. So now it's not gonna be that crazy. But once we kill one of the heads, it's gonna be insane. Check it out. We're gonna use the A2. You see, pretty solid damage. Bang. Now you can go much, much crazier than this. Once we kill the head, you're gonna be able to see it much better though. Bang, we got a head down. If you have a Tranda, go for it. You can actually get it done pretty quick now. Actually, let me just smack that one. Hello. Now check this Tranda out this time around. And check the damage on the rest, okay? Defense down, defense down. This one doesn't. So hopefully it's not going to be a weak hit on that one. Crazy, eh? Sometimes it does 1+ million. I feel like the lower the defense, the higher the damage from that skill. 4.7 million damage. We got to turn 7. I can't make this faster. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea. If you have Tranda, you can do some crazy stuff with her. I feel like the higher we go on difficulties, the lower the damage is going to be from that skill. So that's going to be fine. But guys, that was all for this video. I know it's a long one. Hopefully it helped you guys out, especially not the very endgame players, the people that are struggling with this. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We're going to have something else in store. More endgame, crazier teams and stuff. But that was all for this video. Much love. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.